Welcome to Simply Robotics, the podcast, a podcast exploring the animation industry one episode at a time. I'm your host, Monique. You can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Robotics, SIMPLYROBOTIX. When listening to the show, use the hashtag Simply Robotics Pod to join in on the conversation. All right, welcome everybody. We are starting. Yes. Who knows when this episode is going to come out, because I'm trying to record a whole bunch of things and release what I feel like when I feel like, but I'm trying to get things done now that I'm feeling a lot better. And we welcome my guest, Rell. This is where, if Rell, in his history, he's put like audience applause. He used to do stuff like that. I'll do that. I'll do that for your sake. I'll
Thank
add
you.
a little bit of like sound effects. Yeah, because I never do that. So Rel, can you tell us where you're from? Where are you in the world?
I am in my almost hot box bedroom because it's like almost 90 degrees. Well, it's like 85 degrees outside right now. But I'm in my hot box bedroom in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about the industry that you are working in at the moment? Or
I'm about to
industries,
say,
because I know you.
which one, the real professional one, or, okay. So I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the real professional one. I'm an IT support. I work in IT at a K through 12 school, mostly focusing on high school, working with high school teachers and students. I'm an advisor at that place as well, so I have to like be with my kids for like 4 years, till they graduate. So that's my professional gig. I guess this creative world type of gig that me and you and a few of our other friends that you had on the show is in. I am I guess producer, editor. I am a podcast host as well. I have a podcast called Hey Cousins. I do it with my cousin Vaughn, who's like started off as like, just coming with me to like the gigs and whatnot. And me and him was just like talking, like we'd be having like random conversations like en route to the gigs. We was like, yo, let's just put this in audio format and let's just see where it goes. So we started Hey Cousins. I'm an editor producer for like 3 other shows. One show is actually paying me, so I would give them their shout out. We're Quarantine Nightly with Mouse Jones. That name is about to change starting Monday. Sorry. So just be on the lookout for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I work with him as like his editor producer. He was a former guest on one of my old shows, and then me and him just like became friends. And he's like, yo, he likes the way I work. He asked me to join the team, and I've been with the team since. I work with other networks at one point in my life. Just for that was a short time, and yeah, now I'm like diving into like enjoying my last 2 months, 3 months being in my 20s, and then I'm going to use the first 5 months, the first 5 years in my 30s, just to like focus on like on more visual aspects, so like IG and YouTube. So I have like a YouTube channel. You can find like I am Rell, and yeah, and that's where I'm just going to like showcase my friends. You of course whenever outside opens back up. um, and my cousins, and just like either I'm still like seeing like what direction. I guess quarantine was a gift and a curse, but because I want to see which direction I really want to take it. I wanted to take it into like like almost like a comedy spoof type of thing, like of like our like random drunken conversations and whatnot. I don't know. I'm still like leaning towards, but now since outside is slowly opening back up and I'm slowly getting to like hang around like individuals, I'm just recording at this point and just thinking about just taking pieces and bits and like making it into like a quick like like Vine-ish / TikTok sketches. So yeah.
Okay. I understand that. So, just for the listeners, a little bit of context. if I've said this before on the show, like I used to host another podcast and then now I host this podcast. And Rell and I met when we both used to host a different podcast. And now, well, he's hosted another one since then. And now this is the third
Oh
podcast that
yeah,
you're
third,
actually
my third.
hosting,
I actually
right?
forgot about that. I mean, like the revamp of that.
What? Like, how'd you forget? Like, I enjoyed the revamp or the phase two or
You
the
know what it
2.0
is.
or
When I get, I don't want to say screwed because they did like all the people I worked with, well, except for that, like they didn't really screw me over. It's like it's more like a feelings type of hurt situation. And so I just try to
Mhm.
automatically block that in my mind. It is just like a technique I realized I have, like in like recent years, like I want to say like last 3 or 4 years, like I just developed like blocking people out. So
Well, I
so
could
I
understand
forgot,
that.
like I literally forgot I did that revamp. Mind you, mind you,
Oh my
I'm still
gosh.
talking to
Well,
the
yeah.
I actually talking to the to possible new project to one of the co-hosts now. So it's like yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good that y'all still talk. And I say all that to say is that's how also through those old shows we had, we met Derek, aka DJ
Shout out to him.
SJ614, who was on this episode doing anime things. And now I have you on, which we're going to get to it. But spoiler alert, there's more
I'm
anime
about to
in
say,
this
will this be
episode.
like a part two?
Maybe, but I
Because
feel
I feel like when
like
I heard the
I'm
episode
definitely
and I was like, these are anime I never really watched. I listen to like pop culture anime. Like,
Oh my god. I would have to send you a screenshot of, like, that massive list he sent me. You know, like, I have a okay, listeners, I have, like, a little form, I ask people to fill out so I can help curate the episode, and he sent me a text message with, like, 40 other animes in
I can
addition to
imagine.
and I was like I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "I'm gonna tuck this away. I need to save it to a
Put in
cloud
your
somewhere."
notes.
And, yeah, I should actually just put in my notes. But he's been and what I appreciate about DJ is that he understands the type of
Right.
content I like. So, someone on Twitter has sent me some anime that was like the theme song alone was so violent. I was like, why would you send this to me? So he knows what it is. So anywho, going back to you, did you go to school for like IT stuff and like podcasting, or like how did you end up getting into this
Honestly,
world?
so um I hate when people say long story short because it ended up being long, but but now I'm gonna try to like be as brief. So I went to school for strictly IT. I actually did like programming and coding throughout my tenure. I was in school for like a long time. Not that I was like slow. I am slow, but um, but no, it was just like life stuff during the time. Like I graduated high school on 2008. Then I was like, you know what, let me do my first year here in New York. And then like family issues, like my mother ended up passing away. So I was like, you know what, let me just finish out my years. But that played a toll on my mind mentally, which caused me to like, you know, just only taking a few classes at a time. I was trying to like, without really like realizing it, like worried about my mental health, and like being able to like find that ability to take on what I could take on at the time. So that's what like took me
Mhm.
so long to like actually like graduate. 'Cause I was supposed to graduate 2012. I ended up graduating in 2014. Um,
Okay.
but throughout that time, it was one time our old co-host slash friend of our circle tweeted out he wanted to do some type of like radio type of format situation, and like post it up online. And I was already like seeking that as well. Like I was like like looking at like, okay, how can I make my online presence a little bit more known? Because like a little like more backstory, I have like a decent, like, I guess what they call influencer following on Twitter and Instagram. um so I was like just like very active in the Twitter days because, like I said, I was going through everything from school to like personal things, and I was like, I just need an outlet to like spill this, or this just so funny. It just so happens. Sorry, I'm stumbling. Just so
It's
happens
okay.
like he tweeted that, so I was already like looking into Blog Talk Radio. I don't know if you know about Blog Talk.
I mean, I know
Got you.
because I know the story.
Okay, so anywho, for those who don't know, Blog Talk Radio was like this hosting platform. Basically, the words in the URL say speaks for itself. Blog, what blogs are, and talk radio is like radio. So what they did was like anybody who had like a like a blog at the time, or like just wanted to like voice, they put it on that, and it was able to like be streamed throughout all platforms. And however, the fun part about that at the time was you get to have like live callers. So we did that for about a summer, but then everybody had to go back to their prospective schools. So we tried to like bring it back during the fall time, but when you're in school, you have to like really kind of just focus on like one thing at a time. Extracurriculars outside of the school is taxing. So we try to bring them back around the fall time, and then we just like, no, let's just like stop this, wait till everybody graduate, and like restart it again. So they actually, my old co-host actually waited till like I graduate. I was like, yo, let's bring back our show at the time. And I was like, let's do this. So 2015 to 2017, we did the show. It was called The Cure at the time. And that's how I accidentally just stumbled into podcasts, like extensive research, like trying to see how can we be the next Comeback Jack, RIP, or like the Read, or like like all these like popular podcasts. How can we be like saying, okay, it's our turn? And with my like research, I started like putting into like the things I was finding into our show, and it was like kind of like everything that I was finding out, like what makes a good podcast, and like all the tools and stuff. I utilized it for our show, and we was like just growing, and when that ended, I was like, okay, what's next? So then that's when Mouse came up to me and said, like, yo, can you just be my editor and producer? Because like you have a talent or a knack for like, editing, and like, oh, this should have been like taken out, because he ended up getting like some trouble back in the day because he wasn't supposed to say things and whatnot. And I was like, I told you. Um, so he was like, yo, just be my producer and like whatnot. And like, it's like he's actually like, well, Mouse, he's actually just now on a like, I could say comfortable, and like he's doing his thing now.
Yeah.
So, but at the time, he wasn't like, he said, yo, I can't pay you or whatever. I was like, you know what? I just want to be in this podcast thing. So I just ended up doing it, editing and producing. And then like I was working with the studio that we all went to, actually, even, you. And then that just, all of that just like became like, okay, yeah, it's time for me to like kind of take this creative life serious. So I just like labeled myself as an editor, producer, and podcast host.
And you've been
Yeah.
in demand. You have been in demand. I was just listening to Derek's show, the New York Dose, and you were there
Yeah, it was
during the
happened
recording?
this past Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I could have swore like I heard your voice in the episode now that I think about it. But they were just acknowledging how helpful you've been throughout the years, and just, all the stuff, who I don't know personally, all the behind the scenes stuff that you're doing. And I can only imagine, I'm sure people tap on you to like advice and help and
Overall, I
whatnot.
mean, because if you think
And
about it, we all like in this like in this I call it like cohort graduating class, and I just wanted to see all my friends to win, regardless of our relationship or not. I just want to see everybody win. So like, yeah, they leaned on me for like certain things, and I would just like give them whatever it is I could like provide. Like even like I said, hey, if you need like help, just let me know. And I just want to see all my friends win, and, like doing what they love and win. So I don't know if you want to wait. I don't know if you can hear my background, because this is like somebody dying next to me.
it's adding to the New York City authenticity. I could hear it. It's fine. We'll
Okay.
see how it sounds. Um, if there's a nice part to chop out or just leave it, who knows. So now that we've gotten all the personal stuff, let's start talking about the cartoons and the
Yes.
animation things. you shared that one of your favorite movies is Big Hero 6. And as always, listeners, links to trailers and links to theme songs for everything that we're talking about is in the show notes because I mean, y'all might know, but I don't know. But some of the trailers and theme songs I was watching, I was like, what? What is this? So, anywho, Big Hero 6. Now, I'm asking you to recap and tell the listeners if there's someone out there that's never watched this movie before, what is it
Oh
about?
man, like it's hard. So to get down to the basis of it, it's this like very like super smart kid who was like building out who was in, like into like some type of science type of thing, like almost like what I do, like computer program. But he was like in depth. I think he was like playing like 12, 13 or something like that. He was something in his teens. Anywho, he had and his brother had, they was all like into like the science thing, but you know his was more like in depth and he was smart. But the brother entered like a science competition, and the brother's I want to say mentor maybe at the time was either like sabotaged it because he developed like these like nano type of things, and and the nanobots they basically was like think of like doc damn I like referencing another cartoon. What um
That's okay.
no, I was like
Do
think
it.
about like okay, if you watch Spider-Man and think about Octopus. You see how he has those like
Okay.
long arms and stuff? That's what these nanos thing. They were just like his extra fighting type of thing. Like, you know, he used it for like to extend to like travel. The nanos was like the shit, like little ant shits, like that was doing their thing. um but then like it caused an explosion, like, and why I feel like I like that movie more so because one is a kid movie, but two, they tapped into like almost like okay, so early in the beginning, like death. And I was like, because the
Mhm.
brother died, and I was like, yo, sorry,
Spoiler.
spoiler. I'm sorry, I
Oh.
forgot.
I was like, "Yeah, so if no one's ever seen this, tell them what happened." You're like, "Yeah, his brother
But
dies."
yeah, so okay, so spoiler, his brother died, but that caused the little brother to like, you know, go to like again this depressive state, but smart and whatever. The brother but had like this like little like balloon type robot, I want to say. um I want
Yeah.
to say like you know, just follow him around. It's supposed to have been like a care like, you know, like a stuffed animal for kids. But actually like talking, it was like, you know, it was smart. And it was like goofy in a sense too. Um but then like you know, they wanted to find the brother's killer and whatnot. Then the brother friends end up helping the little brother as well. So they joined, like they did some like kind of like team formation type of thing. Like one was on roller skates, the other one is like a monster like blowing up like blowing out like fire flames or whatever. And another one was like just I guess like just Diesel and Jack, like a jock type of situation. And they just formed this team, and like, you know, find out the brother's killer was like the mentor or the teacher or whatever, and they took him down. And it's a great movie, and the storyline in that just like makes you wonder like, okay, Disney, where y'all leaning towards? But I noticed that they kind of stopped. I
What
feel like they
what do you
don't
mean?
show as much as that, like, you know, like that, like that sad scenes like that, like death.
Okay. I understand what you're getting at.
They always just like show like heartbreaks of like, hey, we breaking up or whatnot. Um, but like deaths they slow down on. But I feel like they're gonna pick it back up. I guess they probably would have been like still working on some things if COVID didn't hit. But yeah, they are
No, they're still
okay.
alive.
Okay, yeah, and
Mhm.
I accidentally stumbled on Big Hero 6 because it was like I think it was like 2 summers ago. It was like nothing on TV, and I was like, let me just watch a cartoon, and and I actually like caught it in the middle, and then And then I was like,
Oh.
this shit is good. But then when I saw like the first like I said, 10, 15 minutes of like the sad part, I was like, oh, well, I see why this shit got good.
Oh gosh. So I saw Big Hero 6 around the time it came out. I'm pretty sure I was still interning at like a
Hmm.
film festival, and I saw it in
Oh,
3D. And I'm a glasses wearing person, so wearing 3D glasses on top of my glasses, and that scene where like Baymax is like, I don't know, in like some foam fluff stuff,
yeah.
and he's like in the void. Oh my gosh, I wanted to like rip my eyes out. It was so intense.
Wait,
I
quick
was
side note, you don't
like,
wear contacts?
I
Oh,
mean, I've
okay.
been lazy. So I can like I'm a person that I don't have a problem putting the contacts on my eyes or whatever. I just like am horrible with just
Gotcha.
ordering a pair or
Gotcha.
like a set. So eventually like this summer I was gonna get some, but I was like, does it
Yeah, you
matter?
can't really
Like I'm not even going anywhere. Like, what do I need it for? There's no movies, there's no like outdoor. I mean, maybe there might be an outdoor show, but
right.
like not really. But anywho, so you already kind of went into why you like the movie so much. Do you have a favorite character?
Um, honestly, I think it is Baymax because I like Baymax because one, I see myself in him, like big fluffy guy like likes to give hugs. So I was like, oh, this guy is like very caring, but yeah, really just Baymax and like he, the way they like made that character is like okay, yeah, he's like this tall, big, fluffy, like I care about the world type of way, but he would get like he would throw down if need to, like towards the another spoiler alert, but like towards the end, you see how when they was like fighting. And like I can't think of the main character's name at this time. Is it Hero? Yeah, Hero.
Hero, Miss
Um,
Hero.
like how Hero just like ride like on top of Baymax like he was like a like just a car or something like flying around and like even playing that like in Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was like amazing too because I was like, yo, Baymax is like busting ass.
I didn't make it that far.
Yeah,
That's
it's
in
the
the
third
third
one.
one. Yeah, I didn't. I actually did. I played like 3 minutes of the game and then
You
took a
don't
nap.
like it?
No, I did like it. I
Oh,
was very tired. I was trying to play despite
gotcha.
being tired, and afterwards I was like,
Yeah,
I can't do this. Like,
yeah.
I need to take a nap. And so do you have a least favorite character?
I don't like two dumb characters, so it's the monster guy. I forgot his name, but he's the blue monster. But he was like that, like
Yeah, he was
dude,
one in the
like that,
suit.
like that. I don't like that. Like I hate that in all characters, like regardless animation or real. I just hate that, like that persona or whatever it's like called. Like, dude, like no.
Yeah. I think then we are moving forward to a Goofy movie. I'm not gonna ask you to recap it because I've had a
Yeah,
guest recap it before. So, why
I
is it
just
one of
love
your
the
favorite
song "Eye
movies?
to Eye." That's the only reason.
That's
That's the only
enough?
reason why. By Tevin Campbell, when he played Powerline. Um, I just
Yes.
love that song. I mean, I did love a Goofy movie, like the movie in general, like how a kid is trying to impress his this girl and whatnot. But I just really just love that scene. Like I honestly like this is I guess a guilty pleasure. I look at that scene like on YouTube for maybe like almost 10 to 15 times a month just to watch the video that part.
I mean, this like what's it's Eye to Eye, and what's the
After
other one?
today, you talk about that one.
I don't know. What
See,
was
I
that?
gotta play it. But
Oh my gosh, don't
but
play
no, it's really just
it.
Eye to Eye. That's the only reason why I really like Goofy movie. That song was popping.
I feel like there's two songs. There's Eye to Eye, and wasn't there another song that was also really
I
good?
think when they about to go on summer break,
That
no?
maybe. Anywho, but the Goofy movie, just having that one song is enough to make it like as high up as where it should be on all
Yeah.
like animation lists. Especially when we talk about like
Hmm.
songs and soundtracks. Like,
Yep.
yeah. Do you have a favorite character?
And Goofy movie, no, I don't actually. Like, I mean, like all the characters are the same. Like, I never like really like seen myself in any other characters. I mean, PJ is cool. He's like a great sidekick, but that's it.
Do you have a least favorite?
I always hate Pete. Like I always just hate Pete, regardless of what character he's played in.
Oh my
From
god.
that movie or Kingdom Hearts, I hate Pete for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to have like any kind of empathy for him
Right.
because he's like you can't even he's not even one of those bad characters that you can kind of, feel something for sometimes. He's just like, no,
Right.
get him off the screen.
Yeah.
Um so the next movie you had is Into the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
And a spoiler alert for listeners and for you, Rel, is that I will be having someone that worked on the movie on as a guest. So
Ooh.
I actually don't want to go too deep into this because I need a proper, like 60 to 90 minutes to just fangirl
Yeah.
about this movie. um, so why is it one of your favorite movies?
I think it's honestly overall, especially in today's climate, is like yes, a POC superhero. Um, he I like Miles Morales. And full disclosure too, I love anything Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
related. Spider-Man is like I guess one of the best, at least to me. Y'all could argue with your parents. The one of the best Marvel films, like Marvel characters out there, like Stanley RIP. He did like he knew what he was doing when he created like the whole Spider-Man universe or whatever. But yes, Miles Morales, like uh that movie, kudos. Like I watch it from time to time. Like I will probably watch it like that like two times a month maybe on Netflix.
Yeah, I watch it a lot too.
But I just like and that storyline. It was great. Like the different spiders and whatnot. But yeah, I just really love it because now it's like yes, a POC superhero.
Do you have a least favorite character?
And Spider-Man, like
Mhm.
all like just in the movie
Well, just the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. I want to say it actually is Kingpin. I for some reason I just don't like Kingpin because they don't know what they want to do with that character. Because like if you go back to the Fox 5 Spider-Man, he was just like a mafia type of boss. Like he never really fought.
Mm-hmm.
And like looking at Spider-Verse, I'm like, yo, he got more moves. Like he moves so quick, and like how and I get it, it's a
Oh,
cartoon, so I shouldn't like really be doing like a deep dive like into it. But I'm just like, yo, y'all don't know what y'all want to do with the character, and then like quick tangent, like when they put him in like Daredevil, they made him black. So it's like, what do y'all want to do? And with this Kingpin character in general,
so your dislike for him is beyond the actual movie. It's like this character actually,
it's like they don't know what they want to do with him,
right?
and
Oh,
I
interesting.
hate that because I feel like all the characters like have you know have a purpose in a sense besides like want to take out Spider-Man. But you had this Kingpin who just like hired like I said the Fox 5 Spider-Man back in the day, just hired people to take care of Spider-Man. You got this Kingpin fighting, then you got them turning Kingpin from a completely like I guess sorry white people white Kingpin to a black Kingpin. So I'm like, yo, what is it that y'all want to like do with this character?
Right. Hmm. I didn't know that. It's also on my list to rewatch the Fox Spider-Man.
Yeah,
He's also one of my favorite superheroes, and I feel like I want to have like a Spider-Man centered episode too.
you should. I mean, well, like I said, I like Spider-Man, but I really like Venom. That's the reason.
Oh, okay.
I like both, but I like Venom the most because he comes from that
Mm,
universe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we're gonna make a little pivot to some of your TV shows, right?
Yep.
The first one is Ronin Warriors,
Yep.
aka Samurai Troopers.
I was wondering if you was gonna put that in.
Yeah, because honestly, I was like, what is Ronin Warriors? But when I saw Samurai Troopers, I was like, that actually sounds familiar. So tell the people what this show is about.
So Ronin Warriors, and aka Samurai Troopers, it just basically like go based off like the Japanese like samurai like I guess like culture in a sense. It came out in like in 1988 in the like in Japan, but it didn't make its like US debut until like 1995. So just think about like, okay, I was 5 at the time. Um, so like I really like loved anything like, oh, like superhero like fighting, but so just think about more of a, like a cartoon version without the like two of women characters of Power Rangers, and they went and this and so it's like five teenagers. I think they was like 16, 15, 16. They met each other. They actually, and which I hate about Roman Wars, they never like really specify on how they got their arm powers. They just had them, and they went off. In the series, the cartoon went based off like the elements of the world, in which they just actually added lightning. So earth, air, water, and fire. Fire being like the leader, and then like lightning. Um, so they went based off that, and like it's like just basically these five teenagers coming together and taking down evil Tulpa, and like these like samurai type of armor, and like it's like more deep into that because it's all about like friendship and camaraderie. um and you just like actually just see their story build out. Then you have them like with like three additional sidekicks that joins them. You have one is like a kid. I till like till this day don't know where that kid came from. um but he had to average at least like about like, I want to say anywhere between 7 or 8 to 10, 8 to 10 years old, I want to say. And then you had this girl who's an intern in college, in her first year in college, just somehow like just randomly like joined up on a team. Then the leader, his power, like I said, is fire. Um, has a white tiger that just follows him around, and
Hmm.
he like basically is like his like partner, especially like if you like later on in the series, he I guess evolves into like this thing called like uh well, his transformation call is power of the Wi-Fi, Dao Chi, whatever. And then when he needs to like level up is power of the Inferno Dao Chi. And like, Inferno's supposed to be, I guess, bigger than fire or whatever. But then the tiger actually also gets armor, and like they like fucking go crazy. um and then like I said, all about camaraderie. Like you see everybody's like, relationships grow with one another, and they end up becoming friends. So and like I don't think a lot of people know about this. uh, it's also posted like that. I think that's when like the spinoff of like Sailor Moon and the rest of them started like popping up. Because like I said, they started in 1988 in Japan only, but then come to the US in like 1995. Sailor Moon came out in 1992. So I think what happened was they seen like, okay, they have something there, and let's see if we could do it with five girls, teenage girls. And I feel like Sailor Moon is still like kind of more popping than Road Warriors, but 'cause I did watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I did watch it growing up as well. But they the company knew they had something like going, like brewing, with like, making it like these five characters, and I think that's where Power Rangers even like got developed in 1993 or something like that.
Mm.
So I think that I want to say Roman Warriors was the foundation of like all these like superhero movies that we like love now, like, of like teamwork and whatnot.
Yeah. So thank you, because you're covering some stuff I wanted to point out. So I just did like my Googles,
Hmm.
and as you said, it was on TV from 1988 to 1989. So actually, not that it was barely on for a year.
Yeah, and they had
Actually,
like short like episodes. I think like it was no more than like 30 something episodes. I think.
yes, it says 39.
Yeah.
And so it didn't come to America, like you said, until 1996 on the Sci Fi Channel. And then
Yeah.
it was on Cartoon Network on 1999.
Yeah.
So I only watched one episode. Well, we'll get into it, but basically, I watched the first episode of the TV shows that you submitted,
Mhm.
and I was watching this, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So I had to restart it like 3 times because the first episode is like this man and the girl is on the computer, and he's like, "Take these names," and like she's typing the names, and then whatever stuff is happening, and then there's one guy and then the guy with the tiger and then another guy and another guy and another guy and then there's armors and then there's like a bad guy and then there's like four more bad guys and I'm like, is there a bad guy for every good guy in armor? And I was like, I had to start the episode over like 3 times, lock in and pay attention because I was like, there's too many people that I don't know coming on a screen
And that's
like in the first 10
Yeah, that's
minutes.
what I said, and that's the thing. I don't think nobody like really like I just said, like nobody really got the concept of how they got their armors and whatnot. Like it was
Yeah.
just like I think what it is, what that series wanted you to do was read their manga.
Gotcha. So as you started talking now about like Sailor Moon, they had their transition in Ronin Warriors, and I was like, this is exactly like Sailor
Yep,
Moon. Like he does his little pose thing, and then they have the little lights, and they have the background, and then
the
it's
Japanese
whatever.
wallpaper and all that. Yep.
Yeah, and then as you saying, like, I think this was the beginning of that phase that we ended up having. I completely agree with you with, like, Power Rangers. I'm thinking, like, Beetleborgs, even though
Oh, I
those are
love
live
Beetleborgs.
action,
Yeah.
I think there's something to it. If, like, it's worth like, maybe I'm gonna say Jen, hopefully she listens to this episode, maybe she would, like, have the answers, because she's into history and
Mhm.
connecting the dots like that, but I think you're onto something by saying that this was
It
kind of
was
the
definitely
beginning of
yeah,
that.
it was definitely a stepping stone for what we liked in the 90s. It was definitely a stepping
Yeah.
stone for the Power Rangers, for the Sailor Moons. Because like that whole company too, I think it was Sunrise Media or something like that. They developed like Gundam. I don't know if you had that talk with anybody yet, but like Gundam Wing,
No.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Hopefully, it's a long time before we talk about that.
And like but like another popular anime called Inuyasha, they
Uh-huh.
put all of that under that umbrella. So it's like Sunrise Media, I think they was ahead of their time, but they was introducing folks into like, what could be big in a sense.
Do you have a favorite moment from the show?
I like when they actually finally come together. Because like I said, you get their stories individually, then like they started like, okay, hey, they had two different blue guys. There was like a light blue and a darker blue. The darker blue was the water, the light blue was the air. Um but their stories, like I like when it was like all five of them together like kicking ass compared to like
Mhm.
their individual like stories and whatnot. Um and then like when the like I said, like the leader, Fire, his suit went from like red to like a white armor. Um like it shows that he like leveled up in like mean business. And like it, those moments were great. And like I like some of their I guess spin-offs, what they call OVAs or OVA, whatever it's called. Um where they like, I think that's where they went more depth into their like lives, but that's like more in the future of like what happened after the series.
Okay. And then moving on to this next very insanely popular anime,
Uh-oh, which one?
Naruto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Since I watched Airbender, which I will I don't know how I'm gonna release this episode, but I'll talk about it.
Hmm.
I did hear some people comparing Aang to Naruto. Am I saying that? Naruto?
Naruto.
Yeah. And I only watched again the first episode and I could kind of see where they were getting with that
Oh, you never watched
comparison.
Naruto?
No.
No.
I didn't want to. I didn't want like no like this is not shame on you or anything. I didn't want to watch anime because I didn't really like it. But
Oh,
you know, content, podcast
yeah.
content. So I'm doing stuff. And it's interesting. But I also am it's like also providing me with clarity about like, okay, well, why really didn't you like this stuff? And it's really just visuals.
Mm,
That's just what it is. Unfortunately, my eye kind of enjoys the American look of cartoons or Western look.
mhm.
But I understand that I'm missing out on a lot of good stories
Mhm.
and characters from not watching anime. So, I'm gonna find a middle ground somehow between that.
I would say with like dealing with Naruto, you have to give it like at least a good 5 to 6 episodes before actually like
Just like everything else.
yeah. but but this is like that show in particular is like you literally have to give it 5 or 6 episodes because it's a slow start in a sense.
Okay, tell the people what's the show about?
14-year-old kid trying to become a ninja. He's been I guess in a way shamed and shunned from his village. He lives in a village, um, and he's been like shunned from his fellow villagers, because he has like this demon fox inside of him that was like wreaking havoc years ago when he was just born actually. So like 14, like I guess 14 years ago, and so, a spoiler, his father, who was like, how would you describe a Hokage? Oh, his father was like the Andrew Cuomo of the village, basically.
Oh gosh.
It was like supposed to like protect it, save it, like tell like people what to do, but at the same time, like he's still a ninja, so like he has to go out there and like fight from time to time. So his father kind of like sealed the beast inside of him with this like like they have like these like little ninja techniques and whatnot, but sealed the fox beast inside of his son. Like basically no like I guess he saw good within the fox beast, and knowing that like this fox beast will kind of also like protect his son, and like later on down the line you find out the father has like the like half of the other fox beast inside of him. But anywho, there's like this 14-year-old kid Naruto. He's trying to become a ninja. He wants to like the villagers to respect him, put some respect on his name. Um, but they don't. They fear him. They don't want him like they don't want him nowhere near them. He actually didn't like become popular until they started seeing him. So he started like going out on like missions with his team. His team is led by like a teacher and like two other people who are also trying to be like good ninjas. They call Genin are like ninjas in training basically. And the goal is to be a Jonin, and also you go through like a Geni, then this thing called a Chunin exam. So when you're a Chunin, it's like you have a higher rank because like you're more like skilled ninja, and the Jonin is like, okay, yeah, you're a skilled ninja. Now you get to like take on missions and stuff by yourself or like with a team. Then you got the like I said the Andrew Cuomo Hokage title, and you get to take care of the village. But he just always just trying to say he's going to be the best ninja out there. So like his plot lines and storylines, it kind of like there's like two Naruto's. One is called like just basically the title, and it's called Naruto Shippuden or Shippuden or whatever. After the first one is like okay, you get who a sense who Naruto is. He making all these friends now. People starting to like, okay, let's give this guy a chance. Is where he becomes a teenager 2 years later in Shippuden, where it's like, okay, yeah, he saved us. He saved the world, but are we still gonna like trust him? And then like later on down the lines, there's like one like big bad group who's after him because they want this like his spirit because it has like power or whatever.
Hmm.
um who comes after him, and but then he like again, hero beast like kicks their ass. And now like, oh, we love Naruto, we respect him, let's like throw a parade for him and stuff. So like he gradually came from like being shamed and shunned from the village to like being like the hero at the end, basically. And have like little character developments with his team because it's like okay, a team is made of three ninjas, and then but it's like other sub teams out there who's like kind of like y'all all on the same page, but it's just more so I guess for like an advisory type of thing. um and yeah, he kicks ass. He develops friendships along the other teams. um and yeah, he's the light.
This sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's like what Naruto is, and what I didn't like about the company is they had a lot of filler episodes.
Okay.
So it's like those filler episodes could throw you off as well. So I suggest, like, if you decide to watch Naruto, to just like find the episodes that actually goes along with the storyline, because those filler episodes are like as much as like almost 10 episodes in between story.
Oh no.
Right. So it's like it's like, okay, where does
What?
this make sense at now? But yes, I suggest like find out like what was the correct order of episodes to like watch.
Got it.
Yeah.
I want to say that again, I watched that first episode and I felt like it was excessively dramatic. It is right, it is like anime to the core.
Yeah.
There was like in this episode, Naruto is like trying to practice his ninja
Yep.
skills. And the teacher has a reaction and there's like blood coming from the teacher's nose,
Yeah.
and the teacher bends back, like almost breaking his back, and the blood makes like a trail on the screen. And then the teacher's face comes, like, takes up the whole screen because he leans forward and he still has the blood just like running down his nose and no one has hit him. The teacher's nose is just having this bloody reaction. And I was like, I am in for a wild time. And I don't know. I may check out like a couple more episodes just to, you know, uh, get I guess a bit more acquainted with the environment that we're in, because I also feel like it went by kind of fast because there was so much happening.
Yeah.
But anywho, so do you have a favorite and a least favorite? No, no, no. Do you have a favorite character and a favorite moment?
My favorite character is
That's not the main character.
not the main character, is the is his teammate. I think I guess you would call him the protagonist or the antagonist of the show. Basically, like, he's the Vegeta if you watch Dragon Ball Z of the show. Um, his name is Sasuke. Sasuke comes, like, he has a dark story behind him, and, like, spoiler alert, he wants revenge on his brother throughout the series. So that, like, it's like two different plot lines happening within Naruto at the same time. Like, if you like think about it, Naruto trying to be like this the superstar ninja. Sasuke just want revenge. But at the end of like the whole, like, the Shippuden series, they actually fight it out together, and it kind of, spoiler alert, ended in a draw. But we all already know, like, Naruto is stronger than Sasuke in a sense. But Sasuke, he's trying to get revenge by killing his brother. His brother's like 17 years old, and Sasuke's 14. And because the brother killed the whole clan, basically his family, called the Uchihas, and he just wanted revenge. So I think I like Sasuke's story more so than like even Naruto's like whole development.
And was that your favorite moment too, or you were just given backstory?
My favorite moment was like just anything that like pertaining to like Sasuke being in the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like and all the episodes. Yeah,
So moving forward, because we have more stuff to cover
yeah.
here. Digimon.
I love
this
Digimon.
this blast from the past, man. So I did remember this as a child, that there was like a first gen and second gen
Right.
Digimon. So I made sure, like, okay, I got the first one. And I'm watching the first episode prior to this recording, and I'm like, I do not remember anything
I
about how
seen
these
your
kids got
tweet.
into the yeah. I don't remember how they got into this like Digimon world. I didn't even know, like, they, I don't know, transported. And that had me just thinking, like, okay, well, back in the day, we didn't have DVR. We couldn't watch
Yeah,
stuff
we be
online.
watching
You
it.
just saw something on TV and you either kept
You have
watching
to
or
wait
you
till the
didn't.
following Saturday for it.
Maybe if you're lucky. So I think I just watched it and I just really liked it. And I was talking with another friend just about like, was Digimon better than Pokemon? I was like, I liked Pokemon, of course, but I remember kind of enjoying Digimon's storyline a lot
And
better.
that's what I was gonna get at with like, I knew we was gonna talk about this. I think overall with me, Digimon had a better story than Pokemon. Like,
Right.
it was something about, like, having these things grow, and then like transform back into like these like little fun sized things. Then with Pokemon, just like they when they evolve, they just stay there and like. And it just, I feel like I had a better story. Like we know Ash wanted to like be the Pokemon master, but he only catch maybe what 20 to 25 Pokemon a season. Like I just didn't get like the whole Pokemon
Yeah.
like craze. Like I loved it, but I just didn't get like, okay, it's better than Digimon.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not like yeah, no. So let's because we do have to get to a couple more
Yeah.
segments. Let's try and keep it short.
Hmm.
Essentially, what is Digimon about?
Digimon, I go on based off the song. It's seven young kids who was a camp for the summer, wind up living in a digital land. Oh, but no, so seven young kids, they went to camp. They some like earthquake or something happened. I forgot how that actually
Uh-huh.
happened. Okay, so some earthquake happened. The next thing you know, they like fell in and then like basically going into the digital world. When they landed, they meet their partners. Then they had these like little which side note, Digimon is from that Tamagotchi era.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up having like these like little digivices that helps the Digimon to grow and whatnot. They basically, like all stories, fight this evil, and then at the end they end up picking up like a eighth character who's supposed to help them fight this evil,
Yes.
and and then like what that was that first, like, the introduction to Digimon. Then they try to do like a part two where the characters like grown over the years, and so that was like kind of like a spin-off. Then
But wasn't their children?
no, it was so the original characters, it was like Ty and Matt's younger brother and sister, who are teenagers now, and who's training training in a sense
Yeah.
the three newcomers. And then they pick up a sixth character to help them fight. So they was actually just all classmates.
Yeah, I really gotta rewatch it because I thought it was okay. The original cast as kids.
Yeah.
Then I thought they got older, but then I also thought there was like another one with their
So
children.
that at the end of this adventure, Digimon Adventure 2, that's when they like at the like very last episode did like a whole fast forward of like their kids and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Yeah, having kids and having Digimon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite moment from the show?
My favorite moment will have to be when the Digimon could finally like go to mega level. Because Digimon started like, okay, a baby in training,
Mm-hmm.
rookie, champion, ultimate, and then mega. So it was just something about like watching Agumon go from this like baby dinosaur almost to like a dinosaur, then to like a metal dinosaur, then to like a metal dinosaur that could like that knows like almost like kung fu type of situation. So those were my favorite moments, especially like watching like the very last episode of it when they all got together, and then it was something like somber about
Yeah,
like
yeah.
leaving their Digimon behind because the kids had to go back because they couldn't stay in the digital world no more, and they had to leave the Digimon back. So it was like that moment those were my favorites.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching this show for sure. So we're gonna move on to the game. The one's gotta go.
Okay,
Okay. So we're gonna start off with Big Hero 6. We have Hero, Go Go, Honey Lemon, Fred, and Wasabi. I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
Wasabi.
Wasabi? Why Wasabi?
No, Fred is the monster, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more Fred. Sorry, I don't know why I thought about Wasabi. No,
I
Fred is
was
the
like,
monster. Yeah, I
yeah,
hate
Fred
him.
is legit the person.
Yeah.
So wait, so since you don't like Fred, do you also dislike Shaggy from Scooby
Oh hell
Doo?
yeah. It's something about that. Like, dude, like, no, I hate that. Like, just talk
Oh my
normal.
gosh,
Yeah, no.
that's so funny. Did you watch Scoop?
No, that's actually right after I do some work after this, do some work. I'm actually gonna
Okay,
try to watch it tonight.
well, have fun.
Oh Lord.
It's not bad, but I feel like you need some assistance
Oh, okay. Well,
in enjoying it. I'm gonna censor that. A Goofy movie. We have Bobby, that's Max's best friend, Pete Jr., Powerline, or Roxanne.
Pete Jr. Oh, that's the PJ.
Oh yeah,
I was
sorry.
like, wait, Pete Jr. um,
Government names. Pete Jr.
wait, go through the list quickly again. The name?
Bobby, who's Max's best friend.
Yeah.
Pete Jr., Powerline, and Roxanne.
I thought Pete Jr. was. Oh, I gotta watch a Goofy movie now. But Bobby, because he like again, he also had that like psychedelic.
Right, he's the same type. Had I known this before, I would have taken them out to make it more challenging. I'm like, I also could have just not said their names. Like, what am I talking about? Okay, Ronin Warriors.
Yes.
I think his name is it Ryu?
Yeah.
Ryu of the Wildfire,
Mm-hmm.
Sage of the Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Sai of the Torrent?
Yep.
Kento of Hard Rock,
Hard Rock.
or Roan of Strata? I don't know.
Strata. It's gonna have to be the Hard Rock because he has that same mentality as the
Really?
the
Oh my
others.
god.
But it's more like, okay, if you ever watch like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he's the
Yes.
Michelangelo of that group.
I love Michelangelo. That's another future episode.
Oh, okay. But he's that he's that of the group. I just like hate when the characters had that moment. Like, even though you could say Naruto has that moment,
Yeah.
but he knew like when to get serious and whatnot. This Kento, no, I can't.
Okay.
Can't.
So Naruto, well him,
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke, or it's Sasuke.
Yeah. I knew he was gonna chop it. I was waiting for it.
Hard. I'm trying so hard. Itachi.
Itachi. Ooh. Is this those three?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because no one else. I couldn't, like, I was looking at all these characters' names. I was like, I don't even know who I saw. It was just so many people.
Damn. I have to get rid of the main character because, like I just said, I love Sasuke's story in that show.
Sasuke. Why is there if it's Sasuke?
No, I'm getting rid of Naruto.
Okay.
I'm getting rid of Naruto. Because like I said,
why are you keeping Itachi?
Itachi, because again, you have to like watch it. The storyline gets interesting with those Sasuke and Itachi.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Then lastly, Digimon.
Yes.
We're gonna do Tai, Kari, Mimi, Sora, and Matt/Yamato.
Time. I want to get rid of Mimi. She was annoying.
Yeah, I even remember her being a little annoying.
And it's funny, like her crest was sincerity or sincere or something like that. I'm like, there's nothing sincere about you. like, I don't like you. Like, you were just annoying. Like, she just felt helpless. She just, yeah, I just didn't like that. Like Sora had more backbone than her, and Kari had more backbone than her.
Okay. Heard you.
Yep.
So we are getting to the end of our show.
Oh no.
But last two questions. First one, this is in the whole world of animated characters. Which character do you feel that you're most like?
And all that we just talked about this episode?
No, this is just in general, like from anywhere.
I'm more like, ooh, that's a good question, actually. I'm just thinking about anime characters in general.
It could be anime. It could be, I don't know, The Simpsons. It could be anything.
No, that's not. I never watched it.
I'm just saying. You don't have to limit yourself.
Actually, I'm going to stick to, like, I don't want to say like just like, you know, feel like I'm like Rada Sasuke, pause. But so I'm going to stay with that Sasuke Uchiha. Like I get his brother and I get Sasuke. So I get Itachi and Sasuke. So I want to stay along those lines. They both have like this somber, like, you can't beat me attitude type of situation, or I will like get my revenge someday. It's just something about, like, you know, being the Avenger.
Okay. So the last question is, using animated characters, cast your biopic, right? So I'll preface this by saying people often get stuck here.
Yeah.
So, like, you can, if you want to do like yourself and maybe like couple friends, maybe you want to do yourself and a couple family, maybe one or two family members, one friend or something, like whatever, that's fine.
I have to say the anime. first.
It could be it's just a character, animated character. You don't have to stick to these shows that we talked about. Like, for instance, my friend Jaren, when she was on, she said that, like, her stepmom would be like Sugar Mama, you know?
Oh, okay. I want to say one of my cousins. I don't think you like from our gatherings. I don't think you've met. Um, his name is Buddha.
I have met
Oh,
him.
you met him? Okay.
Mhm.
He's more of he's more of he's more of okay. Going back to Digimon Joe,
Okay.
like reliable. Like he's more of a like he's a Joe's crest was on reliability. Like you could call on Buddha right now and be like, "Yo, I need this. I need like for example, a couple of months ago, I got a Nintendo Switch, and I was like, "Yo, can you pick up the Nintendo Switch from?" He lives in Delaware, and I just got it in Delaware because of tax off and whatnot. So and
Oh my god.
using my cousin discount. He's like, "Yo, say less." I go through my lunch break, and he went on his lunch break, and then picked it up. But he was like willing to drive it to New York, a 2.5 hour drive, to bring it to me and like go back so he could make it back to work.
Wow.
And so I was like, nah, just hold on to it. I like just hold on to it. But then eventually my father ended up picking it up from him. And but yeah, he's like the Joe of the family.
Okay, so how about your father? How would you cast him, or who would be him?
My father, he would actually probably try to be Peter Griffith. Peter Griffin. Like,
Peter Griffin?
yeah. Yeah. In a
Okay,
sense, yeah.
that's funny.
I can't go. Yeah, I would say no. Actually, no. I'm gonna put him to Oscar Proud. Oscar Proud. So you could delete.
Oscar Proud.
Yeah, Oscar Proud. You could remove that part. But Oscar Proud, what it is, he cares about the family one night and wants to like make sure, like try to do anything, but he also has like the silly parts and like all like kind of like the cheapskate too. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Oh
Oscar
boy.
Proud. Um, and what my brother, I would put my brother as ooh, damn, this is a tough one. My brother would be like Penny because he's more responsible.
Penny Proud?
Yeah, I hate to say it. He's more like responsible in a sense.
So a gender bent Penny Proud would be your
Basically,
brother.
yeah, yeah. He's more responsible and like he has his like friends and all of that. But he always like kind of like want to do the right thing, but he also has like moments too when he's like wild. But yeah,
Okay. Do you want to do like a friend
a friend. Whew.
or another family member?
I will say my close friend, Ira, you met.
Mm-hmm.
He would be who would Ira be? Sheesh. Ira would be okay. So like going back to the Proud family, Ira would be like the Dejanay to my Penny if I was Penny.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Oh my
Like
gosh. Okay.
he has that ghetto ratchet sophisticatedness about him.
I love it. Oh man, that is funny. What a movie that would be. So we've reached the end of the program. This was
Thank you for
great.
having
This
me
was
on. You're doing your thing
of
out here
course.
too.
Thank you. Yeah, man. We'll get into it another time. But I'm happy to be podcasting and like, doing this stuff. This is like a nice release for me. Like you, I just genuinely like podcasting. So I'm happy I was able to find this niche or whatever to continue doing this stuff.
Right, and
Um
following your blogs, I'm happy you put it into this like a podcast format too. So
it just made sense after a
yeah,
while.
nobody
Um
that's why I was trying to get to my job. Like nobody really kind of like reads that much anymore. They rather just like listen to it, like what's happening.
Yeah, and I even have a friend that she has she loves writing, so she still writes her, like, blog posts, and they are lengthy, but she has an audio transcription of it,
Yeah,
but she hasn't officially released it as a podcast, but it's like, that's great, for people who still want to, like, receive your content,
right.
and my blog posts, that's also why I don't they're not long, but, yeah, this just also just made sense. So, yeah, thank you for being a part of this, and I'm happy we were able to do it, and that technology, for the most part, seemed like it was on our side.
Yeah,
Like, this is amazing.
I'm
Um,
happy because I was wondering, like, I know I've been getting DDoSed a lot, so I was like, I hope this connection stays.
I know, right? I know. So tell the listeners if they are interested in finding you, following you, listening to your show, what should they do? How can they learn more?
You can follow me on Instagram. I am Rell. My Twitter is I am underscore Rells with a Z. The Z is my middle initial. Um, follow the podcast. Hey Cousins. It should be like me and my cousin like in a cartoon ish format, and it's like black, red, and white. But yeah, follow that. We took a hiatus because I was going through like personal things, like because of quarantine, like being trapped in my thoughts. But we're eventually going to come back, hopefully before. Actually, we're probably gonna start recording like next week. Uh,
That's good.
but I just had to take a break in these like last like dealing with quarantine, like dealing with my 9 to 5. I just like I needed a pause.
I mean, yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, it's a pandemic,
Yeah.
it's racism, it's all these isms out here, and you're like outside, just like feel going to the supermarket just feels like so sacrificial.
Yes.
Like, oh my
'Cause it's like,
gosh.
is
So
this going to be the day I get it? Like,
yeah, right, right. So yeah, I completely understand, the listeners and the people understand, and it is nice to see people getting back into their groove slowly but
yeah.
surely, but everyone's completely understanding.
Yeah, and that's really about it. Oh, and like I said, I have like 2 YouTube videos up. Just type in I am Rel or TMABRYZ. I forgot which URL it is, but if you put in the show, I'll send it to you so you can put it in the show notes if
Yeah,
anything.
please do.
But yeah, I'm trying to get into like I said, the vlog sphere. I got 2 episodes up. One is like a prologue. But yeah, just follow that and help me draft out what do you think I should like do more of. That's why I've been like kind of asking like my followers and stuff as well.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's it really. I don't got nothing else planned.
Okay, and for me, you can find me on all social medias platforms at Simply Robotics, SIMPLYROBOTIX, and use the hashtag Simply Robotics Pod, so that I can find stuff that relates to the podcast and respond back to you, all that jazz. Usually at this part, I'll say what's next, but I don't even know where this episode is going, so I can't tell you what's next. But I don't plan on taking breaks off, and that's what's good.
No breaks, no days
Thank you
off.
again, Rel.
All right, take care.
Bye.